All right, so because I'm in the fitness industry, and I say that with quotes in it because I don't run a multi-million-dollar company. I'm not selling supplements. I'm not, doing anything but really putting information out there. But anyways, because I do videos like this and run a podcast and do a blog and have a YouTube channel, all this stuff, people contact me from time to time about different types of products. When it comes to ketones and the keto supplement industry things, keto's so hot right now. Everybody's into it. Everybody's doing it now. It's become this kind of popular thing. And, the keto diet's really helped me out a lot. I've gotten a lot of benefits from it, helping me with my ulcerative colitis, helping me with fat burning, helping me with athletics. But because a lot of people have realized the benefits of this, I've been talking about this for 6 years now, and over the last 2, it's become super popular. There's a lot of freaking Instagram gurus and people out there who are looking to capitalize on the trend. And so, as with everything else in the fitness industry, multi-level marketing has gotten involved. And I'm not saying that multi-level marketing is a bad thing. I think that any experience in business, if you've got a job and you're trying to get a side hustle, that's great. That's great. But understand the products you're working with. Understand what you what the? All right. Understand the products you're working with. Understand what you're telling people to do. Understand the type of advice you're giving, and that this advice can have implications for people's health, people's progress, and the way people are going to view your company and your paradigm in the long run. And so I'm going to be talking today about exogenous ketone multi-level marketing companies. So let me walk Piper, let her finish her business, and then we'll get back into the office to go through some science. All right, so first things first, I want to see this. I'm not opposed to the use of exogenous ketones. I actually utilize some of these products. I think they're great products for specific types of reasons. My problem is with the marketing. I cannot stand it. It makes me crazy. It's absolute dumb fuckery to be telling people to put ketones into their bloodstream while they're consuming the standard American diet, and to tell them that they're going to be fine, they're going to be able to burn fat, they're going to experience all the benefits of ketosis if they just take these beta-hydroxybutyrate salts. It's doesn't make any sense, and it's really bad advice. It can be very unhealthy. You're basically flooding your system with energy, right? And if you're consuming the standard American diet, you're eating tons and tons of carbs, eating tons of sugar, and you're also putting ketones in your bloodstream, you've got tons of energy floating around your bloodstream, you're never going to mobilize your own fat stores for fuel. That's the whole point of trying to get into ketosis in order to burn fat. Just not going to happen. Our bodies are not meant to have both types of energy in our bloodstream at the same time. There's a whole host of really bad things that could come about from this, aside from the fact that you're not going to be able to burn fat. People could be putting on weight. People could be putting themselves more towards diseases like diabetes and heart disease. And I think that considering the fact that these supplements could be very helpful for other purposes, we need to be very clear about what they should be used for. So what would I use them for? What do I use them for? Number one, transitioning into ketosis. Okay, they're not going to put you into ketosis, right? They'll put you into a state where your ketone levels are higher, but that's going to be an artificial state because you're consuming beta-hydroxybutyrate salts, you're consuming MCT oil powder, and that's going to convert in your liver to ketones, and you are going to be artificially raising your ketone levels. That could give you a lot of energy. So while you're trying to transition into a natural state of ketosis, these can be really beneficial in keeping you from getting the worst symptoms of the keto flu. The headaches, the nausea, all the things that people complain about in the first, 10 to 21 days of the diet. That could help you to stave off those symptoms, and combined with good mineral intake and good hydration, along with a low carbohydrate, higher fat diet, that could help you to get into a natural state of ketosis without experiencing a lot of those difficulties. But take note, if you are using them for these purposes, I would try to wean myself off of them as you get more and more adapted into ketosis. So during that first 10 to 21 day period, you start with using those ketones, and then you try and use a smaller and smaller dose as you're adapting into ketosis to wean yourself off of them and keep yourself from being dependent on them. Because if you keep using them after you've been adapted, you're not going to be burning fat like you should be. Again, because you're flooding your system with energy. Number two, a really good way of utilizing these is for performance enhancement. And again, it's because of that concept of having that steady supply of energy there. Ketones burn a lot slower. And there's actually scientific evidence to suggest that being in a fat adapted state can actually enhance your performance. We had Volek's study from a couple of years ago at the University of Connecticut. It's called The Metabolic Characteristics of Keto Adapted Ultra Endurance Runners. And really interesting study. What they found from that study was that not only were keto adapted ultra endurance runners better able to oxidize fat. They had about 2 times the fat oxidation rate as high carb athletes. They also found that keto adapted runners were actually able to oxidize fat at higher intensities. They were able to oxidize fat at up to 70% of their VO2 max, whereas high carb athletes were only able to do it up to about 50-something% of their VO2 max. Very big difference there. And so that says that they're less dependent on glycogen and much more dependent at burning fat, even at higher intensities, which kind of busts the myth that ketosis is not good for performance. But the most crazy thing that came out of the study was that they did a bunch of trials. So they did the VO2 max test. They did a 3-hour sub-maximal run at 64% of VO2 max. And after that, before, during, and after that run, glycogen concentrations were measured in all the athletes, and the low carb athletes had the same amount of glycogen concentration as the high carb athletes before, during, and after the run. So that also tells us that they became much more efficient at utilizing carbohydrate. Now, if you're a strength athlete who is looking to lean out while maintaining your ability to perform, then, you know, being fat adapted at certain periods, I'm not saying all the time, but being fat adapted at certain periods could be a lot more to your benefit, because you're going to be able to maintain a lot more glycogen concentration, and you're also going to be able to perform that extra physical activity that you're going to need to do to become leaner. Okay, so consuming exogenous ketones while you're in a lower calorie state and potentially a lower carbohydrate state, but not necessarily ketotic, could actually benefit you by allowing you to maintain more of your strength, more of your mental clarity, and allow you to maintain the same degree of intensity during training. Okay, and I'm actually working on an article for this. I might submit it to my own blog. I might submit it to another publication. I'll let you guys know about it. But you know, there's definitely some potential benefits there for athletes who want to consume exogenous ketones. But again, you need to keep your carbohydrate levels a bit lower if you're still looking to get lean. Okay, so again, guys, I want to reiterate this. It's not that I think that these supplements are bad. I think that there's definitely potential benefits for them, but the marketing needs to change. If you are marketing these to people who are trying to burn fat, who are trying to lose weight, who are trying to come to a life of fitness and better health, you're not helping them out. You're potentially hurting them, and you're potentially causing them health problems in the long run. So I don't know that this video will do much anything to stop that, but if you are one of these people and you do listen to this episode, then you've been informed. So if you guys want more information on this stuff or any of the other things I cover, whether it be my podcasts, whether it be my videos, whether it be my articles, head over to www.warriorsoulagoge.com. That's AGOGE. We're putting up new content every day. If you got questions about this, just put them below. I'll be linking that study in the description box, and I'll be back at you later on this week with another video.